Welcome back to my garage. Now today I'm working on my T5 transporter. It's the old beastie here. Now there, what I'm doing today is my intercooler has popped. So I'm going to be putting in a new intercooler, but I'm not going to be using the original. I'm going to be using this thing right here. It's a lovely big front mount intercooler. Now I bought this off eBay. This is quite a nice intercooler as well, and for a price it was only actually around about 100 quid, and it's a nice tube and thin intercooler, so very nice quality intercooler and very good value for money. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to be taking the original one out, taking the bumper off, and then putting this on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some Samco bends, go on the end, join back in the original pipes to get rid of them nasty fast fit clip things that always pop out, and make some brackets to mount these. Now obviously this one is, well, it's a lot bigger than that one. This is 76 mil. 76 mil? Yeah, 76 mil. I mean basically it's, or is it 30? 35, 30, 63 mil. Yeah. I swear it's 63 mil. So, what is it? It is 76 mil. So it's 3 inch. 3 inch thick. Now the main thing about intercooler is about pretty much its volume. How much air it can actually hold at any 1 second. And that's the amount of air it cools at that specific second. So obviously the bigger they are, kind of the better they are as well. I've heard loads of rumours, people screaming and saying about them. Oh, you get if your intercooler's too big, you get lag. Well, maybe, but the rate of turbo pumps, it would fill this thing in a millisecond. So, today, that's what we're going to be doing. Going to be putting that on. So first thing I've got to do, I've got to take that bump off. Now it's held on by assortment screws, bolts, and the torque things. It's 4 up top, so 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. But the annoying thing with these screws, you've got to get them from this side, there's openings. So you have to take the bottle out, move the washer, jet, pipe, and also you have to move the power steering bolt. Then you've got pop out fittings, which I've already done, which are the plastic things that go around the bumper. There are bolts in these, there's 1 in there, I'm sure there's 1 in there in the middle, 1 again in there, and 1 in there. So they're the 4 across the front. Then you've got screws around the self-tappers around the bottom, underneath here, and up in the arch. Same that side, and then there is 4 bolts, 4 10 mils, which you have to get with a real long torque, real long extension, and they sit where the bumper meets the wing and it's upright just below the headlight. There's 2 bolts there. You have to pull the arch liner down, nice long extension, get up in there, undo them bolts. There's 2 this side just below the headlight, and you have to get them from inside the arch. And there's 2 this side as well. When you're undone them, the bump will come away. There's a couple along the bottom as well, like these self-tapping things. Once you've got them off, front bump will come away and you're in. That's what we're going to do now. So, let's get to work. bumper removed. I'll find a place for it. There you have it. Bumper's off. A couple more screws than I thought. 3 along the bottom, 3 around each bottom corner. There's also a screw on that edge there. Then them 2 pins that I said about, remember? So there's 3 there, 3 there. These tabs here. But they're them 2 studs that I said about. There's that one in there as well. On the inner arch liner, I took them out. And I also took the one out on the inside where there's a cable that goes through. Then it allowed me to push the plastic round more so I could get better access. And then you got that mounting point and that mounting point there, obviously. Clips holding the valance, the cover on. And then same down that side. Pretty much what's on this side. So yeah, there you go. Hope that helped you. And then what we'll do is I will stick this over here, out of the way. Boom. Now what we've got to do is I've got to bring the van in more. But you can see, if you look here, see all the oil? There's all oil, all here. And that's where the element has popped. So that's how you tell for a boost leak. Don't look for air coming out or feeling of air. Look for the oil. So the oil, because basically what it is, your breather system is tied into your intake. So there is a vapour of oil in your intake pipes. So when you get a boost leak, pretty much it blows this mist of oil out and it saturates everything. It doesn't run everywhere. It just gets everything wet, damp like that, as you can see. So I'll give you a closer look. So yeah, you can see all the wetness along the bottom. See it all on the radiator, up through the centre. Another wet patch over there. That is the oil, and you can see how blown out this is. If you look, there's these straps that hold it together. 1, 2, 3. That one's missing. The back one, 2 are missing. That one's still there. That's where the water's got to them. They're made of rubbishy metal. And they just dissolve and snap, basically. So there you go. So next job, got to pull the intercooler off. Cut the ends of the pipes off and measure them. But for that, yeah, I've got to get the truck in more because I've got to go to Rally Design and go get some new pipes. Right, okay, so front bumper's off. I've pulled the pipes out. They have these fast fit type connections. You pull the clips out like that, and you pull that out and pop the pipe out. Now we bring the intercooler as well. Get the intercooler off. And the 2 screws. 1 and 2. That's that. Intercooler off. Those rods. Slots. So. Look, boom. Pop. And look at that. Oh, that is gone bang. That has gone bang, good and proper. I'll keep it out this bang, 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 bang. One dead. Gone. Next is, now we have no intercooler. Next job is to mount the new intercooler. Ta-da! That's how it's going to sit. You just put a bar across the bottom at the moment to support it. And then we have got see I've got them central. I've also taped the ends of the intercooler. Now I need to make a bar that goes across the bottom to support the actual weight of the intercooler. I think what I'll probably do is I'll weld it to the front cross member. So I'll put a bar straight away across from there to there, weld it, 2 tabs, bang, bolt it on, weld it in place. That'll take the primary weight, and then all we do is we'll just move the intercooler out, bring this forward a little bit, bring this out, so we can get the rubbers on it, hoses, and then we will put one across the top, which will just stop the top from moving. The bottom one will have the weight of the intercooler, the top one will just be to stabilise it, so it don't go banging against the intercooler, if you see what the heat exchanger for the air conditioning. Right, let's do it. Right, show you where we are now. I made this fitting that sits on the bottom of the intercooler. Now I'm going to weld that in between the 2 towers of the crash bar. I've got this little bar here, which is going to be my little stabiliser bar. Now I put that in like that. Next, move that in. Move that one in. So, sure I leave a bit of room. Stick that in the top. So, keep the gap. We've got there, quite equal. That was good, that was good, good, good. La. And I've cut the thing so it fits perfect in between the 2 towers. Now, that's how she's going to be supported. Get your bolts are in the right place. Let's get the weld around, weld this in place. Right, first stage. Right, okay. Intercooler's in place, weld is fired up. Now we've just got to melt it together. So, first things first. Get some tacks in. Make sure that it's nicely central. So we've got quite an even gap there. Now, first things first. First one in. Okay, it's in a nice place. So. Nice. Now we seam it in. And there she be. Bosh! She's in. She is in there. The douche. Perfect. And it is quite sturdy. Perfect. Perfection. There we go. So now that is mounted, now we need to make something to brace the top. So we need to make something to come from here to here, and here to here, just to stop it from tapping against the front heat exchanger. Although it's not really going to matter that much because we'll have a rubber hose on there, and we'll have a rubber hose on there, and then the intercooler, the radiator, the bumper will be up against the front of it. So going to be pretty well sandwiched in there, but it might just be better just to quickly make something. I've got this thin bar, this stuff, so I might quickly just fabricate something out of this. Just literally one like that to there, pop pop. Same this side. I could even just put it on like that, bracket, bend, bend that into there, tack it on there, little plate on there, tack it onto there. You have to be careful though, because obviously they're plastic, so they would like to melt on us. So yes. Yes. Right. Let's do the top bracket. Right. There you go. Got it all done. It's all in now. Made this nice little bracket, trimmed it all up. Hose in. I will say this intercooler actually was a little bit too big. Because it's a 76mm wide, but you need, by the time you finished and the pipes are on, you have about a centimetre at the back, so another 10mm. So by the time we finished, it's over 80mm, almost 90mm from the radiator. So I've had to chop quite a bit out of the back of my quite a bit out of the back of my bumper. And the hosing, obviously, it's three inch outlets on the intercooler, and again, a little bit too big. If you got a 280 deep, this is a 300, but if you got a 280, you could probably put a bit of angle line straight across the top, bolt it straight down to the top of the crash bar, and then bolt straight to it. I mean, you wouldn't have to do much welding down there. And I would also go for maybe a 65 rather than a 76 with 2.5 inch outlets. That would be a better option. That would be a lot easier fix. And it would go in quite nicely, and you wouldn't have to butcher so much out of the bumper. These are also quite a bit of a nightmare. I found when I took this pipe out, which comes across this side, it's got like a swaged end on it. Now if I just chopped the pipe off the end, the fast fit off the end of the pipe, there wouldn't have been really enough pipe for me to clamp on. So I trimmed open the alley fast fit and then pulled it open and then pulled the rubber pipe out of it, which meant I had a nice inch of pipe to slide over the fitting to actually clamp it down. Yeah, and that's about it really. I also modified my EGR valve and throttle body, deleting the EGR valve altogether, and then what I did, the fitting that comes out for the EGR valve, I actually blanked it off, so I used the same plate, welded a cap over the end of it, drilled it, and then I fitted an outlet for my boost gauge, which is going to be here. And then the other side, which was like, it has the big diaphragm in it, I sliced that open, pulled the diaphragm, cut the actual bar in half, and then tapped out the hole where the bar went through, and then actually threaded a bolt through. So for instance, let's have a look, see if I can find my light. Yes, I can. I'll just show you what I did. I'll give you a close-up of all the things that I've done. So first of all, that's my throttle body. Like I said, I took the diaphragm out, tapped it out, and then put a M10 bolt in it. And then the EGR, the exhaust gas recirc pipe, I blanked it and then welded a small fitting on from my boost gauge. And then the actual pipe where it comes out of the manifold, which is down there, you can see it, I blanked that and welded that up as well. So now I have no EGR valve. And as for the intercooler, you can see what I've done. You can see the fittings. Have a good little close up in there. So and so, and then you can see the butchery, the trim back I had to do of my bumper to make it fit. So that's what I've done. So there you go. Let's put it back up here. Whoa, it'll fall down a bit. Right, so there you go. Hope that was helpful to anyone wanting to do a front mount on their T5. But yeah, maybe a bit smaller. 280 600 core, so 280 core, 600 wide. I think it was 700 something, 720 in overall from port to port. But this is a 76. Try to get a 65 or 63, so 2.5 inch rather than a 3 inch, with 2.5 inch outlets as well, because that will make your life a lot easier. These pipes were massive, and when you're trying to curve them round and trim them all back, it made things quite awkward. The adapters, the pipes, when I cut them back on the other side, they were 57mm internal diameter. So basically I had to go from 3 inch down to 57mm. Reducer elbows, that's what I used both sides. So there you go. Right, thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.